Hello and welcome to the Tennis Menu's daily Roland Garros show for thetennismenu.com. Remember to head there and grab your package for your annual package for just $99.90 US to make yourself a better tennis coach. I definitely need to get on that. My name is Val Febo and we've got a massive show lined up for you today. We've got the women's draw where, well, I think it's 6 of the 8 in the bottom half of the draw are at personal bests at Roland Garros. It is genuinely unbelievable. We've seen so many upsets last night. Jelena Ostapenko is gone. Garbiñe Muguruza is gone. Aryna Sabalenka also gone. So it has been a domino falling night in Paris. On the men's side, Novak Djokovic still looks really supreme. We're going to touch on that. The three-letter derby, RBA v PCB, that's one of Joel's finest jokes for the day. They played last night. Roberto Bautista Agut falling to Pablo Carreno Busta, who continues his rich vein of form, and he goes through in 4 sets to the quarterfinals. But also, Danielle Altmaier will touch on his story and what he's been able to do at Roland Garros and how he has bucked the trend and not succumb to the pressure of playing in his first Grand Slam main draw. But we do have plenty to get through, and the show isn't the show without these two men. And the first man is Marc, the best high-performance coach in the business, hashtag better than Moratoglu. And he's offered to give me tennis lessons. So this is going to go down very quickly for me. Be great for him if he can turn me around, which I reckon he can. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. And yeah, I'm going to have to be the best high-performance coach in the business if I'm going to have to work on that back end of yours. So we're going to have to do a bit of work on it. But yeah, what an incredible night last night and some amazing results, which we're going to touch on. And just so good to see the underdogs. And this French Open, obviously, with the different timing of the year, has just opened that door for so many players to achieve personal best, personal best in terms of ranking, points, money, etc. And I think it's a great opportunity and one that I'm hoping, we can get an opportunity for these players to be able to live out their dream a little bit more. And this is one chance that they've all had, which has been great.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic Grand Slam for those stories. We've seen so many personal bests being achieved at a major, and we saw a little bit of that at the US Open, but I think more so what we've seen here and some of the just obscure names that have reached the round of 16. It's just fantastic. And Joel Frucci, our third member of the trio, our resident translator, have you practiced any other languages for us today?
I have not. It's the weekend, so it's my day off, so I haven't bothered with the with the linguistics this weekend. But good morning, boys. Looking forward to chatting some Roland Garros again.
We can chat about the Spaniard win. Joel and I we love the way Pablo Carreno Busta speaks English, and it's just the most imitatable way of speaking that there is. So we may slip into that a little bit during the show. I hope it doesn't get to that, but we'll see what happens. But look, we'll start with the women's draw, and it was just continuing her good form, equaling her personal best at Roland Garros over Aryna Barra 6-2, 6-love. Fiona Faro, the French woman, 1997 she was born. She 7-6, 4-6, 6-love to move through to her first ever Grand Slam 4th round. Danielle Collins continuing to 7-5 to 6-6. Well, that was completely unexpected. So we'll chat a bit about that. Pedro Kavitava over Leylah Fernandez 7-5, 6-3. Zhang Shui. She's made a Grand Slam. Clara Burrell 7-6, 7-5. Paula Badosa. Well, Ostapenko had been in stunning form. And, well, Badosa got her 6-4, 6-3 to make her first Grand Slam 4th round. Ons Jabeur continuing her form. Shane is doing wonders with her. And 7-6, 2-6, 6-3 over Aryna Sabalenka. And Laura Siegemund next to 6-3, 6-love. So her first Grand Slam 4th round as well. So 6 of the bottom half in the women's draw are in the Roland Garros round of 16 for the first time. 7 of them are in a Roland Garros. This is unprecedented stuff for what we're seeing in the bottom half of the draw here, and it's so exciting to see what we're going to get. And we'll start with you, Marc. Looking at some of the results that came our way, I think what's the one that stands out for you, and how do you think that came about?
I definitely think the Ons Jabeur result is amazing, and I think maybe because it's forefront of our minds with Shane Leonard's being part of this show and being part of the tennis menu. But what an incredible result. I mean, before the tournament started, we were just chatting, and I know that it's not her best surface notoriously from a result perspective, but to see what she's been able to do on clay, he touched on it the other day on the show. So if you haven't heard that show with Shane Leonards about our data, and check it out, because he talks about her creativity. And if you see a player like Ons Jabeur who can pop the ball really big, but also have the feel, the touch that she needs to be able to create that variability in the game. And on this surface at the moment, with the way that it's playing, you need to be creative. You need to have variability. You can't be that sort of player that just keeps the ball in the court. I mean, at the end of the day, you need something else. You need to be able to pop it. You need to be able to win points. And Ons Jabeur has just been absolutely incredible. And her 2020, and I know Mr. Modest Shane won't say it's part of him, but he came on board at the Australian Open. And I know that the coach has done a great job, but 2020 has been her best year, arguably. And it's been an incredible run for her so far. Looking forward to seeing what she can do down the track, because now that Muguruza's out, does that open the door a little bit for her? She plays Danielle Collins now, and who is fitness coached by a great Aussie young man, Tommy Couch, one a bit of a cheerio to Tom, who's an incredible guy. Played football at our Richmond VFL team a few years back, and is now travelling full time with Danielle, and he's his partner. So they're obviously enjoying their time together and enjoying a great run of success. And I think Ons maybe has another win under her belt coming. I think she might get through to the quarters and really shake up this draw a little bit. I think there's a great opening for her.
Well, for her to get through to 2 out of 3 quarterfinals at majors this year, that's phenomenal. And another third round at the US Open, where arguably she could have beaten Sofia Kenin that day. She could have. She was up a break in both sets and had her chances. Was up a break in the first and then had chances in the second to come back and get another break and go ahead. But unfortunately, it didn't happen for her. But I think the way that she's playing, and I think the conditions are probably suiting her with the weight of shot that she hits. And it's probably the same with Sofia Kenin. I keep calling her Simona Kenin, but Sophia. There we go. I'm getting the two mixed up. But yeah, it's probably the same with her, with the sheer weight of shot that both of them have. And same with Pedro Kavitava. I think the French Open having these conditions is really suiting these players. And maybe, just maybe, one of those three might be able to go on and challenge Simona Halep, because Halep's weight of shot isn't what the weight of shot of these girls is. So if I can get my English out, she doesn't have the same weight of shot as these other three. There we go. That's much better. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what those three can do. But even Paula Badosa, Joel, over Jelena Ostapenko. So Ostapenko in her first 2 matches had hit 73 winners, which was more than Djokovic. I think it was more than Nadal as well. She hit 32 winners last night, but made 43 unforced errors. Badosa, on the other hand, hit 15 winners and made 10 unforced errors. But the problem was, winning on second serve for Jelena Ostapenko was 45%, Badosa 50%, and then on break points, Ostapenko was 2 from 8, Badosa 5 from 7, and that's where she won the match, I think. And what did you make of the results? And did you see it coming at all?
Yeah, well, again, it was a surprise, because we've been talking so much about Jelena Ostapenko, but yeah, I think I guess when we look at the winners and unforced errors count, it probably comes back to what we've been talking about a lot with her, and that's obviously that she brings the power to a match, but it was very much the consistency that let her down, and that was always, I think, our concerns. That if that inconsistency crept in, if maybe her confidence dropped off a little bit, if that sort of power, heavy hitting game didn't quite stack up, if it started falling apart, if she could kind of pick up the pieces again, which clearly in this case didn't quite happen. So look, a bit of a surprise, and I'm kind of disappointed that she's gone out, actually, because I was enjoying watching her play that kind of game that she brought. But nevertheless, good win for Paula Badosa, and another unseeded player that's making waves at this tournament.
Yeah, another one. And I did ask you the question last week, guys, that if an unseeded earlier on in the week, if an unseeded player could win Roland Garros on the women's side anyway. The men's side, I don't see that as a conclusion that is possible. But I think that on the women's side, I think we very well could see that. And one that is making waves, Marc, is Danielle Collins.
Yeah, she is. And I just want to touch on a little bit what you were saying, Joel, I think, before I move to Danielle, because I'm looking at the stats in front of me, and Ostapenko, who is clearly an aggressive baseliner, likes to dictate the points. She only won 30 out of 76 points in the 0-4 category of the rally length. Now, the 0-4 category is the most important category to win in any match. That's where most of the points are finished. 70% of points finish within 0-4 shots. Now, but Dosa won 46 of those points in the 0-4 compared to 30 for Ostapenko. Ostapenko did win the 5-8 or the medium rally category, but it means nothing because most of the points finish within that 0-4 ratio. So I think it's really important for anyone who's out there to understand that whenever you're training, really look at that as a really important part of your training is that 0-4 kind of area, because I feel like if we can get that right, you'll win more matches if you can win that 0-4 count. So that to me is a really critical component. And you did touch on Danielle Collins. So, I mean, for her outstanding win to beat, a superstar like Muguruza. Interesting to note that she did lose just marginally the 0-4 count. And it's interesting because she goes and wins, 6-4 in the third set.
Yeah.
But only won 2 more points than Muguruza for the entire match. And it's those critical moments that I think Danielle was really good at yesterday, really calm, really controlled, and played those critical moments well.
Yeah, and one stat I do want to bring up. So it was so even, 60-64 in favor of Muguruza in points won in the 0-4 rally category, 0-4 shot rally. 5-8 shot rallies, it was Muguruza again, 32-27. But the 9+ shot rallies, Collins wins it 20-9. And Muguruza is generally really, really solid in those long rallies. She doesn't make many errors. And Collins was able to negate it, I guess, and try and really dictate those longer shots. And I think the winners, it was 36 to Collins, 37 to Muguruza. Unforced errors. Muguruza was so clean, 31 unforced errors compared to Collins' 44. So looking at the stats, it kind of looks as though Muguruza was probably the one that should have won it. It's probably based on that second set where Muguruza won at 6-2. But Collins was able to rise in those clutch moments. She is a Grand Slam semi-finalist. She made the semis at the Oz Open last year. She has been there and done that and gone deeper to slam before. Who's to say she can't do it now? And I'm really looking forward to that matchup against Ons Jabeur.
Yeah, it's going to be a great match. Like, both players are going to bring something totally different to the game, which is outstanding. And I love seeing this, and I love looking at the draw and seeing players that people don't know. And, I was watching a match last night after Collingwood's extremely good win. And I was watching a match last night with Faro and Tig from Romania. And 2 players and my wife turned over, she goes, "Oh, who's actually playing?" And I said, "You know what? I've never seen either one of them play. So this is pretty cool. Like, it's actually good to watch what is coming through. And it's good to see a new batch of talent coming through. Great opportunity here at Roland Garros for these players to shine a little bit. And, Collins and Jabeur have got a great opportunity now to get right the way through. And, maybe Sophia Kenin stands in the way, but who knows? With the way the draw's going, it is wide open.
Yeah, well, that draw, the bottom half of the draw, before we do get to the men's for the 4th round, is Ons Jabeur v Danielle Collins, and the winner of that will take on the winner of Fiona Faro and Sophia Kenin. And then the bottom quarter is Pedro Kavitava against Zhang Shui, who has made a quarterfinal at the 2016 Australian Open. She did it at Wimbledon, I think, 2 years ago as well. And Kavitava, obviously, a 2-time Wimbledon champion as well. So they'll take on each other. The winner of that will take on Laura Siegemund against Paula Badosa. So, yeah, it's fantastic. And I think this is so exciting. And you said at the start, and also another 4th round in the women's draw, Nadia Podoroska against Barbara Krejcikova in the top half of the draw. That's as exciting as anything as well. So this women's draw has been phenomenal. And I'm so looking forward to what we're going to see tonight and what the rest of the tournament does hold. But let's move over to the men's draw. And this one, well, it looked like we're on the collision course for Matteo Berrettini and Novak Djokovic quarterfinal. Daniel Altmaier, the German, he has come out of absolute obscurity. His first ever Grand Slam main draw, world number 186. The guy's 22 years old, and he's reached the 4th round without dropping a set. He's won 9 consecutive sets, and he's the first man to do that. And I have a stat here that's the wonderful Kevin Pollard sent me on Twitter. And it was Ulf Stenlund At the 1986 French Open, he made the fourth round and won his first 9 sets against, who did he play? He beat Andreas Maurer from Germany, Darren Cahill, one of our great friends, Anders Jarrett, and then he won the first 2 sets against Andre Gomez. And I think Gomez, hang on, no, he didn't. Hang on. No, he lost that match. Sorry. He lost the first 2 sets, came back and got it to 5, but then lost it in the 5th. So 9 consecutive sets. Altmaier becomes the first man to do that. Sorry, I'm waffling on. Joel, this has come out of complete nowhere.
Yeah. And really it's been the essence of the whole tournament, hasn't it? Great story for Daniel Altmaier. We love seeing new players, if you like, just come out of nowhere and really stir up the pot. And certainly it's thrown a spanner in that part of the draw, because as you said, Val, I'm sure Novak Djokovic would have been looking ahead thinking possibly...
It just seems to fall into place for the guy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he would have been looking ahead saying, okay, I'm probably going to be playing Matteo Berrettini. And that's nothing against Karen Khachanov, who he has to play in the 4th round. But I'm sure he would have been maybe prepared for Matteo potentially. I was quite disappointed with Matteo, actually. He's, on clay this season, he was pretty good in Rome as well. He was looking good in his previous couple of matches. Just wasn't really working for him. He was pretty untidy with his ground strokes, which was quite disappointing. But yeah, again, good to see Daniel Altmaier really getting himself in there and shaking things up a bit. It's good to see.
Yep, and first man to reach the 4th round at a Grand Slam in his first main draw since, last year. Ignacio Londero did it at the French Open, and he played Rafa Nadal. So that's the only time Rafa Nadal has played someone at the French that has a better winning ratio than he does at 100%. He'd only played 3 matches, of course, so doesn't really count. But Novak Djokovic, again, looking really good over Daniel Elahi Galan, 6-love, 6-3, 6-2. I think, how many games did he drop for the tournament, Joel? About 15 only?
He's dropped 15 matches.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Roberto Bautista Agut, we thought he might get through against Pablo Carreno Busta, the 3-letter derby, RBAB, PCB, 6-4, 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 in favour of Carreno Busta. We'll touch on this one very shortly. Stefanos Tsitsipas played Aliaj Bedene. Bedene retired 3-1 down in the 3rd set. Andrei Rublev took care of Kevin Anderson, 6-3, 6-2, 6-3 to continue his rich vein of form. Grigor Dimitrov played Roberto Carballes Baena, and he got through 6-1, 6-3, and Carballes Baena out-retired. Karen Khachanov winning over Christian Garin, 6-2, 3-6, 6-4, 6-2 to give Djokovic probably his first real test of the tournament. No disrespect to Ema, Berankis or Galan. I think Khachanov is a step above all 3 by a fair way, and Martin Fucsovics continuing his form as well over Thiago Monteiro in straight sets. But Pablo Carreno Busta against Roberto Bautista Agut, we mentioned it yesterday and flagged that it could be a 5 or longer hour epic. It went nearly 3.5, but this match, look, to see a winner count, Marc, for Pablo Carreno Busta at 65, for him to hit 65 winners on clay against a returning brick wall like Bautista Agut is simply phenomenal. And 51 unforced errors, yes, but it just shows the intent that he had during this match to just club the ball. And so break points won, 7 of 17, 41%. Bautista Agut, 4 of 12 at 33%. So, 41% to Carreno Busta, 33% to Bautista Agut. Just what a performance. What a stunning performance.
Yeah, it's interesting because people always see Carreno Busta as a clay court. They see Spanish, they go clay court, he's going to be a grinder. But his results on faster surfaces have been just as good, if not better, on the hard courts and so forth. And it's good to see that because I look at these stats as well, and he hit 32 winners within that 0 to 4 category. Obviously those first couple of balls, he's really looking to be on the offense, and he's made 26 unforced errors at the same time. So he's actually going for so much more in that 0 to 4 category, which obviously is the most important category to win it in any match. And he won the 0 to 4, he won the 5 to 8, he lost the 9+. But when you've got a minimal amount of points that finish in the 9+ category, it's roughly about under 10%. You're looking at that as being a very low category you want to focus on from a KPI perspective. So Carreno Busta is focused so heavily on getting that rally early in terms of aggression, push the player back, get him into control, and he's been doing that really well. And he's not the typical Spanish player. I think Bautista Agut is. I think he's he's definitely one of those players that wants to sit in the rallies a little bit longer. And Carreno Busta didn't allow that to happen and shortened the points up as much as he could, and was really aggressive. So great work from him. And both players, they're outstanding players. And for Bautista Agut to come back from 2 sets to love and have a crack in that third and get that third set was outstanding. And we did think it'd go a long time. It did for a 4-set match. If it had gone 5, it would have gone for the 5 hours, Val, and you would have hit the nail on the head. But what a great match that was from Carreno Busta.
It was fantastic. And guess what we could see in a quarterfinal, guys? Pablo Carreno Busta against Novak Djokovic.
Oh, there it is.
The rematch. It could happen. And please get Laura Clark over to officiate. Come on, Roland Garros. You've been so blatantly disrespectful of COVID. Why not get someone else over from America to get in that Parisian bubble? Because that's what we want to see. We want to get the band back together and hope maybe a similar result. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Karen Khachanov against Novak Djokovic. Carreno Busta will take on Danielle Altmaier. I think that might be the end of Altmaier's tournament there. But it seems, as you said, Joel, before, Berrettini has had such a good sort of start to the clay court season. But a German, and an unlikely German, has spoiled it because it was Dominic Kepper in Rome, and now it's Daniel Altmaier in Roland Garros. So it's just happened twice. It's unbelievable. And Martin Fucsovics will take on Andrei Rublev. And then, we could get this one anyway, Dimitrov v. Tsitsipas in the 4th round. Tomorrow night is going to be extremely exhilarating from an aesthetic point of view because both of them are so beautiful to watch. So last year, it was a one-handed backhand man that ended Tsitsipas's run in the 4th round, 8-6 in the 5th, and that was Stan Wawrinka. Can Dimitrov do it? He generally, he can have some early excess at the French, but he looks in pretty good form at the moment. So this is a very, very exciting quarter of the men's draw to see what happens there. Djokovic and Khachanov, though, I'll ask you, Joel. It's probably a test that he needs to have because the 3 players that he play are generally ones that he will eat for breakfast. And let's be honest, no disrespect to them, as I said. But Karen Khachanov, hard hitter, tall, offers something very different. These conditions suit him more so than they have on clay in the past because of the sheer weight of shot. But will Djokovic be troubled at all?
Look, he's looking pretty good. I think, obviously, he can only beat who's in front of him. But look, I agree that those guys that he's played, as you said, Val, I think you put it well. No disrespect, but they're not exactly world beaters. Certainly, Karen Khachanov is up in that upper echelon of the tour, as we know, and has a game that can go far at this very unique French Open in the slower conditions. Look, will he be troubled? I think he'll be pushed, but I still expect him to get through it. I'm thinking maybe 4. But if Novak gets it done in 3, that wouldn't surprise me either because the guy is just playing really clean, tidy, consistent tennis, and he's looking unbelievable at the moment.
Yep, as Marc put it in the US Open show, Djokovic is like that game Pong. Where it just keeps hitting the ball. He just keeps hitting the ball back. And do you remember the American Express ad that used to air during the Australian Open where Andy Roddick had to come up against Pong? Yeah. And then he went with the underarm serve and that's how we beat him. So maybe Khachanov might need to get the Amex ad out and sort of analyse what he's going to have to do against Novak Djokovic. But we've got plenty of tennis to look forward to tonight with Simona Halep taking on Igor Swedetech in the first match-up on Chatrier. Sebastian Korda up against his idol Rafa Nadal. He posted a photo yesterday on his Instagram story with his cat named Rafa, and he showed a photo of him with Rafa when he was a lot younger. So he gets to play his idol at his idol's, home, I guess, on Court Philippe Chatrier, a place where he is saluted 12 times in a Grand Slam final. Alina Svitolina against Caroline Garcia. That one could be bonkers. I reckon that one's going to go very deep into a third. Dominic Thiem against Hugo Gaston. I think Thiem gets through that one comfortably. On court, Suzanne Lenglen. Martina Trevisan against Hannibal Lecter. What was the other nickname that we had? Lazarus. Kiki Burton's. Do we have another one for her today, Marc?
No, let me have a think of one for tomorrow. And if
All
she gives me
right, okay.
something, I'll give you some more. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. Win or lose, I expect one from you. That's your homework for the day. Alexander Zverev against Yannick Sinner, Lorenzo Sonego against Diego Schwartzman, and then Nadia Podoroska against Barbara Krejcikova, along with a lot of doubles tennis as well. But look, we've got plenty to look forward to tonight. Very excited about the tennis that we've got coming for the second week of Roland Garros. Week 1 is done and dusted. We're into the business end of the tournament. Marc Safoulis, thank you very much for your efforts today, and I look forward to jumping on the court with you whenever this lockdown is over, and you can make me the best tennis student in the world, I hope.
Oh no! As long as you're coachable, I can help you, mate. But yeah, looking forward to getting back on court soon. And if the Muppets in Melbourne stop doing their stupid shit at the beach, I think we're going to be okay. Well, I think I just can't wait to get on the court and be able to impact people's lives as a coach, and that's what I love doing. And it makes kids feel better about themselves, makes people feel better about themselves when they can get out and be free and do exercise. And tennis does that for everyone. And I hope anyone that's in Melbourne watching this show is doing okay, because it is a challenging time for us all. But let's hopefully get through the last Grand Slam of the year and enjoy it. I know someone on Twitter did say they can't believe the French Open is the last show, the last Grand Slam of the year. It's incredible to think that 2020 would have had this, but been really exciting. So looking forward to tomorrow, and second week's always an unbelievable week to watch. So looking forward to it, and have a good day, boys.
Yeah, well, look at the positives. COVID has allowed us to do these shows and the US Open show as well. So I think that's been a real positive. And Marc, thank you very much. Enjoy Collingwood's win some more, and go watch the replay. But Joel Frucci as well, thank you very much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And I expect some more language from you tomorrow. It doesn't matter what it's from. If it's African, maybe think of something Tunisian to celebrate Ons Jabeur. I don't know. Get Google Translate out. We'll see what we can find.
Yeah, okay. I'll hit the books. Maybe some Arabic on the cards tomorrow.
Yeah. Look at me giving homework. I don't like this part of myself. You're excused. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Be the good teacher. But no, thank you very much, guys. It's been absolutely fantastic. Val Febo, Marc Safoulis, and Joel Frucci here with you on the Tennis Menus Daily Roland Garros Show. And remember, you can head to thetennismenu.com and click on the blogs tab for the latest editorial opinions and coaching philosophies right at your fingertips. All there on the Tennis Menu. Some pieces from Marc, some pieces from Joel, some pieces from myself and George Rogiatis. Plenty on there as well. But remember, big night of Roland Garros, or big day, depending on where you are. We'll catch you tomorrow for all the latest French Open action.